This is our C1 solenoid coil. The C1 is just our code. The important thing to note with any solenoid coil is actually matching the operator size. So this is what we would call a 13.2 millimeter coil. Now 13.2 millimeter is the hole that the operator will go into. So it'll sit a 13.2 millimeter operator. Now the other important thing to note is the wattage or the volt amps, depending on whether you're AC or DC. So they vary between the range and the different voltages. That's the purely because of the number of windings of the power it takes to lift the operator. Now this one we call a 14.4 watts or 15 volt amps, but they are slightly different according to the voltage within the size. So these ones we've got 12 volt DC, 24 volt AC, 24 volt DC, 110 AC and 240 volt AC. Now they all come with a DIN plug on the end. This is this plug. A lot of coils don't come with the DIN plug. Ours do. They include a LED light on there. There's actually some 415 as well. In the 415 volt, they don't include an LED light. But if I just take this coil off the end here, the DIN plug. The DIN plug is purely on the coil by this screw that holds it in. Now, if we pull that out, you can see on here, depending on whether it's AC or DC. If it was DC, it would be the positive and negative. They're not polarity conscious, so you can go either, and then the earth. If it's AC, the neutral and live and the earth. So the DIN plug itself will fit over. Press over that, you've obviously wire your DIN plug. We've got a separate video on how to wire your DIN plug using the correct cable gland. And then that screw would then be tightened up, and that will hold the DIN plug on the coil. The other important things to note when you're matching a coil, because these coils can be used on any solenoid valve, is the height. So this dimension from the bottom to the top there, that's actually the height of the magnetic field over the operator. That is the other important. So the hole size, the height, and the wattage or volt amps is important. You can then match that to any solenoid coil. Now if the wattage is, or the volt amps is more than required, that's fine. You just can't go the other way. You can't put a less powerful coil on a valve which needs more power. The power is purely the magnetic field that when you put electricity to this, the copper windings there create a magnetic field which will lift the operator. So that is what is required. If you've got the right size or one that's bigger in terms of power, it will lift it no problems. If you don't and it's not lifting, your coil may be undersized.